Hello traders, Greg here. So pre-market this morning, I explained about the Dow, how it was getting interesting with this gap down reversal, the inside bar, the correction bar, and potentially going long. Well, that was the intention, and it exploded out of the open, which gave no entry at all. So there was nothing to do. Then when it pulled back here, it's like, all right, maybe. So it pulled back, and initially when a buy setup fails, and this is a buy setup right there at that 20, I had the bottoming tail bar. When that fails, and it did trigger, when that fails, it typically makes a lower low. It doesn't always go down here like that, right? So, hold on, everybody. All right. So it wound up falling apart, and of course, and one of my thoughts is why? Why did it fall apart? Well, one of the things that we needed to kick in a little bit besides tech and semiconductors and the FANGs was financials. And that didn't happen. It was right up against this resistance area, but it had the wide range bar up. It had the correction bar. It triggered above the highs, and then sellers came in, knocked it all the way back down. And so now it's trying to make a turn here, making a lower low. It really didn't have that much of a slowing momentum. And so slowing momentum we read is here's an initial move. This was slowing momentum, right? The difference between the green bars. And it bounced up a little bit, and then that failed and it went down. So now it's trying to regroup again as it's gotten closer to this support on the 65-minute right there, which is the bottom of that bottoming tail bar. We'll see if this can turn around or not. If it closes this way, that would imply it's going to go down, and the Dow would go down. Other markets, semiconductors holding up here relatively well. NVIDIA, it's holding up. It's still above the open. That pulled back quite a bit like other things did. Buyer stepped up in the area of the pivot. Now it's coming up to resistance, and if it can clear those pivots, I suspect it's going to start to move up toward the high of the day. So we're watching for that. AMD showing some relative strength, bringing up the rear. That looks good. What else? Where are my transports? Transports, ugly, down. Looking at a few others, FedEx, still up on the day, doing well. This trucker that looked like maybe it was going to go up, that failed. CSX, energy stocks, we'll take a look at oil. That gap down, turning up, maybe it's making a bottom, not sure yet. That one's holding up relatively well. Maybe it's going to roll over. Shipping and ports down. So some of these not really doing much of anything. Railroads continue to be weak. Right? UPS not doing anything. Earnings in a couple of weeks. Earnings are going to be the key. JBHT earnings next week. So we'll see what that does. Clearly not doing well. So a lot of these stocks going down as they are and have been for a while, implying that the consumer is going to start retracting and slowing in the economy. And the Fed will get to lower interest rates, 72% or so, bias that it's going to happen in September. 1, 2, 3 lower on Southwest Airlines. That could be a play for tomorrow. Oil down a little bit today, but not a big deal after having this run up, getting close to resistance. The Qs holding up relatively well. Just a little narrow range bar. Tesla coming back again, backed off from that 260, which has been resistance. It was up there, I think. No, it wasn't up there. We did the call spread. I don't know if Dan closed this one. We had another one on today. It got close up there, and he was managing it, not by the price, but just by a 1-to-1 ratio. So that could have got tagged, I don't know, but it backed off from that 260 level quite a bit. We'll see if that breaks a prior bar's low. There's D-Dog gap down. That could be possibly a call spread candidate, gapping down like that. Intel, bringing up the rear. One of the dogs in the semiconductors. Surprised this ADSK has not broken out. Could be a bad sign. Definitely will be if it breaks these lows, since it's going sideways there. And I think a lot of traders are waiting for it to move up. These strong stocks like Intuit and D-Dog and some others like, now, that made this miraculous run up off of the low after that nasty drop, now gapping below the low. I think there was news on this today. We'll have to look at that for a call spread. What else? Gasoline pulling back a little bit. Interest rates, that's the 30-year pulling back a little bit, not a big deal. The 10-year, just bonds and interest rates have been all over the place, back and forth, kind of craziness. IWM, a little bit of relative strength, but still in a mess of a trading range. Look, there's so much erratic price action with, the Fed cutting. Are they going to cut? Are they not going to cut? Now, the uncertainty about election. Let's hope Sleepy Joe sticks it out a few months, not to put Kukovitz Kamala in charge. Who the hell knows what would happen with that one dingbat taking over the reins. So look, this craziness, I've been through it before over all the years I've been doing this. The thing I can tell you is do not become complacent and worn down. It almost seems like the markets attempt to wear you down to the point where you don't want to know anything more about it and get frustrating. It's more of a stock picker's market where we have to search long and hard at times to find high probability plays. Some of them are whipping us around. But again, the times are going to come where there are going to be a lot of no-brainer trades again. So stick it out. As always, if you have questions, email Dan and I, Dan and Grant at Greg at Master Trader. All the best.